guys, welcome back to Naturally Nija. How y'all doing? I hope that you guys are good and I hope that you guys are blessed. Okay, all right, so as you can tell by today's title of the video, we're going to be talking about what life is like being a recovered people pleaser. Okay, if you know, you know. As a people pleaser, you are somebody that basically kisses ass. You know, as a people pleaser, you kiss ass. You know, you don't like conflict. You try to avoid conflict at all costs. You want to, in a sense, suck up to everybody, you know, always be in everybody's good graces. You always are overextending yourself. You are always giving so much of yourself to others at the expense of nothing being returned to you. You know, a people pleaser is somebody that kind of forgets about self, forgets about their own personal needs, forgets about what's important to them, forgets about what makes them happy. Their sole purpose is to please everybody else around them without thinking about themselves first. Okay, and that is just my blunt perspective, my blunt definition of what a people pleaser is. Okay, and I was once a people pleaser for a really long time. And when I was being a people pleaser, I didn't necessarily realize it, because I think that's also a thing with people pleasers. When you are a people pleaser, you don't really realize that you're people pleasing, because in a sense, most people that are people pleasers are natural givers. They are people that naturally love to give. They naturally love to be there for everybody. And you know, in their mind, they're not doing the most. They're not being that people pleaser. They are just simply being that solid rock in everybody's lives. They're simply always that person that anybody can call on whenever, you know? And while that is very good, that's a very lovely, those are very lovely traits to have. Although that's the case, you have to have boundaries in place. It's very important for boundaries to be put in place, because if you don't set those boundaries, if you are constantly there for other people over and over and over and over again, if you are constantly giving all of yourself to everybody else, if you are constantly people pleasing everybody else and forgetting about yourself, that is going to catch up with you. Okay, it will catch up with you, and not in a positive way, not in a way that is beneficial to your growth, to your mental growth, your physical growth, your spiritual growth, financial growth even. It's going to catch up to you. Okay, so it's so important to have boundaries in place. All right, and yeah, so basically what I really want to talk about in this video is the journey after you've realized that you've been a people pleaser for however long, and how to navigate through that journey. You know, how to navigate as being a people pleaser no more. Okay, how to navigate being somebody that puts themselves first, okay, without being selfish. All right, in my mind, you know, the way that I look at it as a recovered people pleaser, the way that I've basically navigated it is, I'm still that person that is very much there for other people. I am a natural nurturer. Like, I am naturally somebody that loves to give. Like, if you are in my circle, you will never have to worry about anything, because I am that person. I am that solid rock. I am extremely loyal. I don't play. Like if you're in my circle, if you're my partner, if you're my best friend, if you're my family, like, I don't play. Like, I'm going to always be that person. But I've learned to not overextend myself. I've learned to not overdo it. Okay, and the way that I learned that is by only, okay, so I keep on getting cut off. Basically what I was saying is, how I've learned to navigate being a recovered people pleaser is to put those boundaries in place and only give myself, only be that rock in everybody's lives when they truly need it, and also when I am actually able to give that. If I am low of energy, if I feel like, you know, I'm not fulfilled emotionally, I'm not fulfilled in a certain area, and I genuinely like don't have the energy to give to someone else, I have to respect that in myself, you know, and not overextend. at the, you know, just because that person needs me. And it's not like I'm not going to be there for them. I'm still going to be there for them, but just not in an extreme way, not in that like extreme people pleasing way. And I would just have to hope that the person on the receiving end understands that, and they understand my boundaries, and they have a sense of empathy, and they have a sense of, you know, just care to understand, like, okay, I get it. Like, she's always here for me, but in this moment she can't be, and I'm not going to fault her for that, you know. I would just hope that the person on the receiving end understands that, because if the roles were reversed, I would completely understand, you know. It's just all about, you know, being thoughtful and also being open-minded and having that openness, and being able to understand other people. Okay. Yeah. So besides that, being a recovered people pleaser, I keep getting tongue-tied on the word recovered. Sorry. Okay, as a recovered people pleaser, you're going to have moments when, I don't know how to explain it. Okay, so, okay, I got it. You're going to have moments when you want to rebel. You know, there's going to be moments when you're going to want to be rebellious, when you're going to be like, no, I was a people pleaser for so long. I am never doing that again. If anybody needs me, or if anybody is going through this, if anybody is going through that, I'm not going to be the person there for them. I'm not going to da-da-da. I don't have any energy to give. Da-da-da. Like, there's going to be moments when, like, you're going to feel like nobody deserves your energy. There's going to be moments when you feel like they don't deserve that, or I simply don't have the energy to, so I'm not going to give it. Or there's going to be moments when the person that needs you, they haven't necessarily given you what you've needed emotionally, so you're going to feel as if, oh, you haven't made me feel good, or like you haven't fulfilled my emotions, you haven't been there for me, so what makes you think I'm going to be there for you? There's going to be moments when you want to act like that and rebel like that, and I'm telling you, you may feel like it's the best action in the moment, the best way to go in the moment, but after you sit there and think, that's not the best way to go about it. Okay, don't try not to become that person. Try not to enter, or like, try not to enter those rebellious states. Okay, because all it is the resentment from all the years that you were a people pleaser. You know, all that energy is just resentment. Okay, don't let that resentment make you somebody that you don't recognize, somebody that you're not. Because trust, I've been there before. There's been moments where I realized I was being selfish, and that selfishness stemmed from resentment, from me always being a people pleaser, from me always being that person there for everybody and never receiving anything back. You know, I was in moments, you know, in situations where I was just kind of like, I'm done giving myself to everybody because I never get anything back, you know. And although that is true, you know, you don't want to overextend yourself. You don't want to give all of yourself to a person or to people constantly without getting anything back. Like, I'm not promoting that. I am actually against that. I am very big on reciprocation. You know, I'm not saying to completely disregard that, but there are certain moments where you're going to have to put that resentment, that pride to the side and think, okay, I'm going to be there for this person because I genuinely care for them. I'm going to put my selfishness to the side and actually be there for this person because they deserve it and I actually care about them, you know? And it's that being a recovered people pleaser mentality that you have to kind of juggle and, like, you know, maneuver and figure out. Like, it's a lot. Like, you're gonna eventually get it, but yeah, these are just ways that I've navigated it. I've had to really learn how to put the resentment to the side and to put my pride to the side and to put selfishness to the side. I had to get out of that mentality, but I had to also put boundaries in place so that I am not always overextending myself, so that I am not always being that people pleaser and draining myself and, you know, doing the most without getting anything back. Okay, so it's a journey. It's a journey. You know, you're going to figure out how to maneuver it and get through it in whichever way you figure out how to. Okay, it's a journey, but you got this and you're going to get through it. Yeah, my throat keep cutting up. But yeah, so I hope everything that I've said made sense. Like, there are some times like where I'm talking, where I'm yapping, where I'm sharing experiences and stories, and then when I'm done talking, I'm kind of just like, did any of that make sense? Did any of that make sense? Like, does anybody else have those moments? I don't know. But yeah, I hope that, you know, this message hit you where it needed to hit you. I hope that this message really, I don't know, opened up a new perspective, opened up a new thought bubble, a new thought box in your brain that, you know, will take you to new heights, take you to new places in your connections. I hope that this video found exactly who it was supposed to find. And yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry. I have these moments in every video where I just have to like acknowledge acknowledge myself. Like, acknowledge yourself. You're beautiful, you're handsome. Anyways, all right, so that's pretty much my spill on being a recovered people pleaser. The biggest lesson you're going to learn on this journey is to put yourself first. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's going to be the biggest lesson. But with that putting yourself first, there's going to be other many lessons and things in there, like the boundary setting, not letting resentment take over. Okay, there's going to be certain other lessons that pop up amongst the journey as well that are also very important. Okay, but they come after the putting yourself first. Once you learn to put yourself first, once you learn to not overextend yourself so much, everything else is going to kind of fall in place as situations come up, as things happen, as you have certain conversations with people, as you have certain conflicts with people. There are going to be certain things that happen that make you think, wow, I need to maneuver this, I need to change this has to be tweaked a little bit, you know, because that's exactly how it's happened for me. There was a conflict I was having with somebody, and I realized, like, I really care for this person, and I was just kind of like, maybe I am being a little selfish, although my intention was not to be selfish. But I completely understand and realize how I was coming off selfish to the person, because I was putting myself first without fully considering them. But that it wasn't my intention to do that. It's just that recovered people pleaser in me, and that mentality of, oh, I come first. But that's not always healthy. It's not healthy. It's not going to work. That mentality is not going to work. And I learned that in that moment. That's not going to work. If you really care about somebody, you're going to want to be there for them. You're going to want to put them first, because if they are going through something, if they are experiencing something, if they really need you, or if they really just need somebody there to you know, cheer them up, you know, just be there and support them, encourage them, help them in whichever way. When you experience that, when you have somebody that really needs that, you're gonna want to naturally do that for that person if you care for them. Okay, and especially if you are like me and you have a natural nurturing heart, a natural nurturing spirit, you're gonna want to be there for that person no matter what. You're not going to be thinking about the whole I'm putting myself first thing. Like, no, that's not going to be a thought. Okay, so, you know, it's just all about balancing things out and maneuvering the situations. All right, so I hope this makes sense. Once again, I love you guys so much. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe, only if you resonate with my energy, of course. If you do not resonate with my energy, you do not have to subscribe. I am not one of those people. I am not one of those YouTubers that are pressing anybody to subscribe to me. Please, I only want people here that want to be here. So you don't have to subscribe, but if you resonate with me, go ahead and subscribe. Okay, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. All right, and you guys have a great holiday. You guys have a great upcoming holiday season. I'm going to say that again in like the next few videos too, because it's going to be holiday season for like the next month. So you're going to hear me say this again. Here I am yapping. Okay, I'm gonna go, but yeah. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.